Hey, Ag Chicholets here, coming at you with another video. It is a teacher work day, and this is one of my last jobs that I need to get done for the greenhouse, which is to cover it with our shade cloth for the summer. As you can see, the beads of sweat on my forehead. It is a nice warm day here, which means in the greenhouse it is well over 120 degrees. Probably 125 to 128, somewhere in there is where I'm guessing. I don't have my thermometer there anymore. I don't leave it there in the summers. It's just too doggone hot for it. So what I'm doing is pulling shade cloth over the top. It's a woven, I think it's polyester mesh, and that's a 60% shade cloth, and this one is black in color. So I've got it connected on one end of the greenhouse, and I've got my line thrown over for the other end of the greenhouse. And now I'm going to start the long, laborious process of pulling that over the house. It's a lot of work. Usually you do it with a team of people, but I didn't get this done with my classes yesterday, so it's something I get to do by myself. And this will help that plastic maintain a little bit of its integrity, because it's gonna cut down on the amount of solar radiation that's getting into the greenhouse and getting onto the plastic itself. So I've got my tie straps over there. I've got this hooked onto the corner of it. I'm just dragging it over the top of the house. So like I said, this is a 60% mesh. So it should greatly reduce the amount of solar radiation that's getting in and heating up the greenhouse. Lower it by a few degrees. And it just takes a little bit of work to get it all secured, which is what I'm gonna work on. Hopefully it stays on this side and we don't get a gust of wind while I'm working it. Getting it secured. It should still be secured on the other side. So we'll walk around and do that. Yeah, it's not quite up here. I'm gonna have to come in and secure the ends. Well, here, I'll let you see this side. I've got the ends to pull up. It should be attached somewhere down there. I'll get my material spread back out to hold this in, but this is the back side of the house. Now, the one thing you want to know about shade cloths is you can't leave them up in the wintertime. Because if we get freezing weather and there's any sort of precipitation, that's going to hold that precipitation on there in whatever frozen form it comes down in the wintertime. Which means it's going to get heavier and heavier and heavier and not slide off the greenhouse. Like if you go back to my winter videos, I show you with the snow sliding off the greenhouse. So we want that process to still happen. So we're going to go get some more fasteners to attach that. But yeah, so we make sure that it comes off in the fall. I could have put it on earlier this spring, but it's a 60% shade cloth, and I didn't want it to cause my baskets to stretch, and we were still barely able to manage that. You know, we still had cloudy days. Shop's spooky dark. Woo! But we're still able to manage those days as far as temperature-ish. But I just didn't want the plants to stretch right at the end where we were looking to sell them. I'm looking for some more fasteners to be able to hold those down. There we go. Got a bunch more of those. Got a container of them. So we'll go put those up with some washers and end up securing it from the sides, and then I will come in later and put in some more fasteners and bring ratchet straps down to those and tighten up the ends. But right now I just needed to get this on and secure before we get a windstorm of some kind coming through. That's the last thing I want, is to lose this in a windstorm right as I get it put up. So let's go get some more metal washers. Oh yeah, it's a significant cool down in here already. I don't have the exhaust fan running. I'll turn that back on when I'm done. I just wanted to kind of feel how it's doing. And you can see this is really darkened it up in here. You know, there's the difference between the plastic, bare plastic, and shade cloth. There's quite a difference there. Get a good handful of these washers. And we'll get this secure. So this should help keep it a little bit cooler in here. Also keeps the solar radiation off of a portion of the poly, so that should help out that part. Anyway, that's what we're making. Those little grommets. I'm going to go put them on the side here. So I'm going to put you back at a distance, grab a bunch of my fasteners, and we'll let you see how that process goes. All right, so that's the easier-ish part of that. We got our shade cloth done. Now we got to go fix the ends. We got to pull our ratchet straps over the edge to tighten up the edges, but that should help. Secured on the edges, and then I'm going to go ahead and work on the other side, make sure that's hooked down the way it needs to be. I think that's about how that needs to be. Normally I'd tighten it a little bit more, but that's what I've got for today. It's kind of warm out here. I'll come up and work more on it Monday. Hopefully we don't get too much of a windstorm, but it is secured enough. It should be all right. It's not going to hurt anything. Anyway, I thought you'd enjoy looking at that process, adding shade cloth to a greenhouse to bring down the temperature. And there we go. We got that fan open on the other end. Let that run. And I'm going to secure up this other door and then take the prop out of that fan since that one's not working. And force that air to come from the other side of the greenhouse. So it'll be drawing it out through the house, keeping it a little bit cooler. There you go. That prop is closed. Now everything has to come from that end. And we'll shut this door for the season. That door is shut for the season. Oh yeah, that's like standing in a furnace. So anyway, that's secured there. So anyway, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed seeing just a little bit more about work on a greenhouse. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.